to a special Big News, Big Sports combo for the week that began last Wednesday, March 16th, and ended today, Tuesday, March 22nd. I'm Michael McCarthy. I'll be your Irish bartender, serving up a variety of top-shelf news items with lame-ass, watered-down joke chasers, and hoping you don't notice. More pretzels? In an attempt to turn lemons into lemonade, the always innovative folks at Parker Brothers, a division of Hasbro, are reinventing their big seller Jenga. As you'll recall, with the original, players take turns removing blocks horizontally from a tower and balancing them on the top, increasing the instability of the structure as a whole. Fun! In the new version of Jenga, called Fukushima, players attempt to remove wooden facsimiles of cooling rods without causing them to overheat and thereby releasing huge amounts of radioactive steam, all the while a spokesperson from General Electric is shouting in each player's ear, "There's nothing to worry about, there's nothing to worry about." A Mr. Homer Simpson, speaking on behalf of Southern California Edison with regards to the California seaside plant at San Onofre, reassured the public that there's nothing to worry about with any of America's nuclear power plants, that we're a more sophisticated people, and that the designs of our plants are much gooder. Because we have like wire things and like awesome cement and stuff, end quote. Then spokesperson Simpson proceeded to outrage the members of the press in attendance by doing a series of racist impressions of Asian people taken directly from World War II Warner Brothers cartoons, to which Rush Limbaugh stood up and applauded both Mr. Simpson's bravery and originality. Although it still has to be approved by regulators, AT&T is attempting to acquire its rival, T-Mobile, which will lead to the wireless giant ballooning to over 130 million subscribers. But if we've learned anything from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's that giant balloons need wires. The wires help to tether the giant balloons to the earth, otherwise they flop around, hurting people, and until they float out onto the East River and become entangled in the rocks on Rikers Island, metaphorically speaking, of course. Also, it should be explained that the term subscribers, as in 130 million AT&T subscribers, is actually a euphemism for 130 million people who will soon learn to talk quickly before their fucking call is dropped. So they have that to look forward to. Disappointed by the fact that America wasn't able to bomb stuff in either Tunisia or Egypt, U.S. forces were overjoyed this week to be included in the Western military campaign against Muammar Gaddafi, and finally, we got to blow stuff up. When military leaders were questioned with regards to the strike's objective and to the extent of the U.S. role, Pentagon spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Clark Varnell stood before a battery of microphones and made a kind of puppet with his right hand and said, "Blah, blah, blah. Who let all the pussies in here? Haven't you seen the footage? It's friggin' awesome!" When the international press refused to back down with questions about America's specific objectives, Varnell went from using his right hand as a puppet to grabbing his crotch and shouting, "I got your objectives right here, no more questions." Speaking of inappropriate reactions, here's my brother from another mother and sports compadre, Steve Stevens.
I hear America jizzing, America jizzing, the waitress jizzing, the mason jizzing, the farmer jizzing, everybody's jizzing. A selection from the musical Working, and everyone is indeed jizzing because baseball is back. The 2011 season is just days away, and here are Steve Stevens' 3 crispy bindles to look out for. Bindle 1, the San Francisco Giants are hoping to repeat as World Series champions. Their charismatic closer, the black-bearded Brian Wilson, spent the offseason doing the Hollywood circuit, including a rumored get-together with Charlie Sheen. Now I know you're all thinking, hey Steve, you like the yayo? You ever cut up the booger sugar with the Sheen? Well, let's put it this way. Last Thursday afternoon saw me, the Goddesses, and the Sheen sitting around my coffee table cutting lines off of my 1776 soundtrack CD. Enough said. Jenga! Bindle 2, the Philadelphia Phillies added starting pitcher Cliff Lee to their rotation, giving them 4 aces. 4 aces. That reminds me of the great poker craze of 2005. You remember? There was that one show, it was so awesome. It had this hilarious host. It was Kevin Pollak. And the show was a bunch of guys in baseball caps and shades, and the viewer could see what hands they had, and then everyone would bet. Categories. And finally, Bindle 3. The New York Yankees angered their superstar Derek Jeter this offseason by lowballing him in contract talks. Now, I know you're thinking, Derek Jeter, he's a stud. He banged all these moists. But that's nothing compared to what I'm going to do later, when I munch the box of Hollywood's hottest starlet. I'm talking, of course, about one Megan Mullally, formerly of Will and Grace. Yahtzee! 3 4s, I need them! For Big Sports, I'm Steve Stevens. You wish you were me.
For big news, I'm Michael McCarthy. Thank you so much.